Do you still remember the name Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States from 2009 to 2017, the first African-American president in history in a racist country? So what was his bitter past full of separation and loss before entering the successful political world with a mountain of dollars? And how funny was the fight between Donald Trump and Barack Obama? Let's join Top 10 Mysteries to Top 7 Mysterious and Surprising Facts about Obama. Obama publicly supports Ms. Harris to confront Trump. 100 days countdown between Trump's fierce election battle with Kamala Harris after President Biden announced his withdrawal from the race for the White House. Former U.S. President Obama suddenly created an overwhelming wave when he stood up to publicly support Ms. Harris. He called and said, "Michelle and I couldn't be more proud to support you and do everything we can to help you get through this election and into the Oval Office." Previously, in April 2020, Mr. Obama officially announced his support for Mr. Joe Biden to be president. Actually, it's normal for Obama to help Ms. Harris or Mr. Biden, but it's strange when he helps Mr. Trump because everyone knows the debate between these two U.S. presidents, always teasing each other. One time, in 2011, when Donald Trump was just a businessman, he questioned Obama's origin, claiming that Mr. Obama was not born in the U.S. with that skin color. This has forced Obama to release all records related to his origin. In addition, President Trump also accused Mr. Obama of many things, such as lacking equipment to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic or being weak in relations with Russia. On July 27, 2016, at the campaign in Florida, he said golden words. "I think President Obama is the most ignorant president in our history. He was a disaster when he became president. Of course, there is tit for tat." Accordingly, Mr. Obama said on February 17, 2016, "I continue to believe that Mr. Trump will not be able to become president, and the reason is because I have great faith in the American people. I think they realize that the presidency is a very serious job." Not only that, a direct argument made the world laugh when America was voting for Trump and Biden. Obama spoke up to imply that people should be careful when voting and that Trump could not do his job well. Immediately after that, Trump immediately said, "People asked me what I thought about Obama's speech. I said I watched it but fell asleep halfway through. The content of the speech was very good, very suitable for lulling people to sleep."
"What do you think of President Obama's speech?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I watched it, but I fell asleep." I found he's very good for sleeping.
And so these two people never liked each other, and whenever they were careless, they would refute each other. So let's look back at Barack Obama's successes and failures during his term as U.S. president. The resounding success of former President Obama. On November 4, 2008, Obama became the first black person in American history to be elected president, defeating Republican candidate John McCain.
Of the United States.
He stepped onto the podium with his wife Michelle and two daughters Malia and Sasha, using the slogan, "Change we can believe in." By January 2017, his approval rating was 60%, and he was ranked 18th among the greatest U.S. presidents in 2015 by the Brookings Institution. While in office, he withdrew sanctions against Iran. The nuclear deal forced the other side to stop developing nuclear weapons. Obama also became the first U.S. president in nearly 70 years to visit Cuba, laying the foundation for normalizing relations with the neighboring island nation after more than half a century of hostility. In the War on Terror, the leader made his biggest mark in the May 2, 2011 raid in Pakistan, successfully killing terrorist leader Osama bin Laden. Not stopping there, he also made the U.S. Supreme Court issue a ruling legally recognizing same-sex marriages nationwide, praising himself as a victory for America and justice comes like a thunderbolt. Political success is nothing. His personal talents are equally outstanding, my friends. How talented is former President Obama? If you normally know that Russian President Putin can handle all kinds of vehicles, from cars, rockets, snowmobiles, and knows martial arts, and has an honorary 9th degree black belt in Taekwondo, then Obama is not inferior at all. In addition to politics, Obama is known to be passionate about sports, especially his hobby of playing golf. He is the president who participates in the most golf matches, but not golf. Former U.S. President Barack Obama's favorite sport is basketball. He is nicknamed O-Bomber because of his talent for hitting the ball wherever he throws it. Not only that, when asked what he would do if he were not a president or a politician, Mr. Obama had an answer that surprised everyone: architect. Yes, from his passion for building a building, he has now built and developed the entire country of America. And he is also an excellent writer. How much money he earns from writing books, I will tell you in the next content. Did you know that Obama won a Grammy, an award from the National Academy of Arts and Sciences of the United States that recognizes outstanding achievements in the music industry? Few people know that Obama won 2 Grammy Awards in 2006 for the audio versions of The Audacity of Hope and Dreams from My Father. Perhaps few people notice that President Obama is the 6th left-handed president, along with former presidents Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, Gerald Ford, Herbert Hoover, and James Garfield. Finally, did you know that President Obama is a comic book fan, collecting 2 Marvel series? Those who are passionate here can confirm below. Not only does he collect Spider-Man and Conan comics, but he even appears as a character in the comics. Specifically, in 2009, the president's image was printed on the cover of issue 583 of the Amazing Spider-Man comic book for the story Spider-Man Meets the President, written by Zeb Wells. The collection was so popular that people bought it all in a flash, and the next day, a copy was sold on eBay for over $300. However, his failures and humiliations are no less than his successes. Let's see what they are like right after this. The failure and humiliation of sad racism. Friends, President Obama admitted, "I suffered racism in my office." Even when he was first elected in 2008, many Republican lawmakers said directly that they did not like Obama, but had to live with the flood. Among them, Mr. Cornel West, who is also of the same skin color, but is also one of the harshest critics of Obama, called him the first timid black president. When he was in school, his friends considered him a foreign object. They were even so rude as to touch his hair and ask if his father ate cannibalism. On CNN, Mr. Obama acknowledged, "The concept of race in America is not only a genetic issue, but also a cultural issue." If you do not know, Obama is black, his mother is white, and his father is Kenyan of African descent, but he was born in the U.S. And Obama's biggest failure is probably related to North Korea. Accordingly, Otto Warmbier, a 22-year-old American student, was arrested in March 2016 for allegedly tearing down a propaganda banner at the Yanggakdo International Hotel in Pyongyang. As a result, North Korea immediately arrested him for trial and sentenced him to 15 years of hard labor for committing crimes against North Korea. After 17 months of imprisonment, he was released but in a vegetative state and died a few days later due to lack of oxygen and blood to the brain. The incident caused outrage across the United States. Warmbier also became a symbol of former President Obama's failure, as a 22-year-old student was abandoned in a closed country. When he left office in 2016, the commander-in-chief humorously stated, "Obama is over," and illustrated by dropping the microphone. And just one day before Mr. Obama delivered his farewell speech, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on January 9th asked his Republican congressman to immediately repeal and replace Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, initiated by the Barack Obama administration in 2010. Many of you wonder what Obama's income will be if he is no longer in the presidential seat. We will continue to understand in content number 6. Before that, let's witness Obama's love storms. Obama's love life. The world always sees U.S. President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle. Obama holding hands and glowing with happiness every time they appear in public. Few people know that there was a time when their marriage was on the brink of collapse. Mr. Obama met Ms. Michelle Robinson in June 1989 when he was a student at Harvard University and had just started working at the Sidley Austin law firm in Chicago. In general, Mr. Obama fell in love at first sight. Fast forward to the time after the two got married in October 1992. At that time, the future president of the United States told a few friends, "My wife is smarter than me and more annoying than me." In the next 4 years, Mr. Obama became a senator from Illinois. Storms began to arise between the two people, both intelligent and strong-willed. When the couple gave birth to their first daughter, Malia, in 1998, the situation did not improve. Mr. Obama was constantly away from home because of his congressional work, and Mrs. Michelle thought he was wasting his energy on a political career that was going nowhere. For his part, Mr. Obama complained to his friends that he loved his wife very much, but that Michelle nagged too much. The tension grew so high that some friends revealed that after 8 years of marriage, there was a time when Mr. and Mrs. Obama thought about divorce. The turning point for their family came in September 2001, when their 3-month-old daughter, Sasha, contracted meningitis. Mr. and Mrs. Obama sat by their daughter's hospital bed for 72 hours to fight death with her. At that time, my world was only confined to the 4 walls of the hospital room. Work or the future were no longer important, Mr. Obama said. But it was that nightmare that brought Mr. Obama and Mrs. Michelle closer together, sympathizing with each other after Sasha recovered. When he became a political star and attracted the attention of many female fans, many beautiful young girls tried to meet him and gave him their phone number, but Michelle was not worried. He loves his children too much to ruin his marriage. Obama told a friend half-jokingly, "I will never cheat on my wife. If I say anything, Michelle will definitely take care of me." So, there will never be such a shocking story as the one in the video's cover photo. I use that photo to tell you that it is fake. Obama's huge fortune. You might think that Obama's wealth only started pouring in after he became president of the United States, but that's a mistake. Back in 2004, Obama earned a modest salary of $82,187 as a member of the Illinois Senate. He also taught at the University of Chicago Law School, where he earned an additional $32,144 teaching the next generation of lawyers. In addition to his salary, he also held investments like the Vanguard Wellington Fund, which totaled between $100,000 and $200,000. Between 2005 and 2016, Obama earned $15.6 million in advances and royalties from books he personally wrote. In 2017, he and his wife Michelle signed a book deal worth at least $60 million to each write their own memoirs. As of July 2022, it has sold more than 17 million copies worldwide. In 2007, he also invested in U.S. Treasury bonds, a safe bet worth between $500,000 and $1 million. By the time he became president in 2008, Obama's U.S. Treasury holdings ranged from $1.1 million to $5.1 million, as did the $1.4 million Nobel Peace Prize he won after taking office. From there, Obama earned $400,000 a year during his 8 years as president and still receives an annual pension of about $200,000 as a former president. On top of that, his public speaking engagements can command fees of up to $400,000. Realizing that this income might not be enough to support their ambitions, Obama and his wife ventured into film production. In 2018, the Obamas founded Higher Ground Productions, which quickly made waves when they signed a major deal with Netflix. So before we get to the mountains of dollars and achievements, let's take a look back at Obama's turbulent past, Obama's stormy past. It is a fact that Obama does not come from a noble family like President George Bush or Donald Trump. His father is Barack Hussein Obama, a black man from Kenya, a country in East Africa, and his mother is Ann Dunham, a white American from Kansas, USA. They met while studying at the University of Hawaii and decided to get married, at a time when racial discrimination in the U.S. was still very severe. Many states still prohibited two people of different races from marrying. However, love was not as beautiful as a dream. Obama's parents' marriage broke up when he was only 2 years old. After completing his studies in the U.S., Obama's father returned to Kenya. His life was difficult due to poverty and alcoholism. In 1982, he died in a car accident. From the time of his divorce until his death, Mr. Obama Sr. only returned to see his son once in 1971. Then his mother remarried an Indonesian, and the whole family moved to Indonesia in 1967. He attended elementary schools in Jakarta, where only Indonesian was taught. At the age of 10, Obama returned to Hawaii to live with his grandparents. His troubled past and his very different background from his white peers in high school pushed the young Obama into a crisis. He confessed that during high school, he drank alcohol, smoked marijuana, and even used heroin to push out of his mind the question of who I was. More tragically, his mother also passed away from ovarian and uterine cancer in 1995, leaving Obama struggling with his loss. During Obama's conversation with young Vietnamese people at Gem Center, Saigon, on the afternoon of May 25th, a student asked, "What turned you from a playboy to a person who cares about society? There are many young people in Vietnam who also play around. What do they have to do to be like you?" No need to wait for an answer. Just watch what he did next to understand. Unexpectedly, one day in February 1981, 19-year-old Obama did something that changed his life. He read a speech at a protest by Occidental college students against apartheid in South Africa in front of mostly white students. Immediately after that, Obama decided to embark on a political career. He transferred to Columbia University in New York to major in political science. After 4 years, he moved to Chicago, Illinois, and worked as a community organizer for several years. In late 1988, he began studying at Harvard Law School. At the end of his first year, with excellent grades, Obama was accepted as an editor of the school's famous Harvard Law Review, becoming the first African American to be elected editor of the magazine. Becoming famous, Obama was recruited by the University of Chicago Law School, and in 1992 he began teaching constitutional law there. He also ran Project Vote, an organization that engages low-income and racially diverse voters in the civic process. In 1993, Obama joined the Davis law firm. In 1996, he ran for the Illinois Senate and won, then was re-elected in 1998, then 2002. By mid-2002, Obama began campaigning for the U.S. Senate and won the 2004 election. Not only that, the state of Illinois and the Democratic Party leaders began to consider that Obama could become a presidential candidate in 2008, and he realized his American dream on November 4th. That is a few short minutes summarizing the life of a man with an unhappy childhood to a powerful leader. So as a former president, a beloved person, did he receive any valuable gifts, and when he left the chair, did he take them with him or leave them all? Let's go to the final content. Revealing the huge gift former President Obama received while in the White House. First, the King of Saudi Arabia from 2005 to 2015, Abdullah bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, gave Obama a lavish desert landscape crafted from blue-veined marble, plus a gold medallion with the royal seal and a luxury Jaeger-LeCoultre glass watch, totaling $1.4 million in value for all the items the wealthy Saudi gave Obama. Second, Hu Jintao, president of China, gave an exquisite silk embroidery worth about $20,000. The British Prime Minister also made a notable contribution. He sent President Obama an exquisite black and gold pen worth 16,000 tens, housed in a unique wooden pen case made from the wood of the HMS Gannet, a historic British naval ship. Then came a pair of glass candlesticks and a glass fruit bowl, as well as books. Italy has Silvio Berlusconi with his $6,400 gold Francesco Basile watch, housed in a large crystal case decorated with the American flag, symbolizing both elegance and national pride. Today's video ends here. Thank you to the Top 10 Mysteries audience who have accompanied me so far. Your support motivates me to produce more good and useful videos. Now, Goodbye, and see you again on the next trips.
With